right. So, double check. All right, today we're going to be doing some fraction stuff.
Okay.
And we're going to just start, and whenever you have questions, ask me. And so, this is a granola bar we're pretending. Show how three people could share this granola bar equally.
You could divide it into thirds.
Okay.
So,
Thirds are hard, aren't they?
yeah. It's pretty.
Yeah, good. And how do you know? You just from by eyeballing it, you
Yeah.
know it's equal. Okay. All right, great. So now I have this rectangle. Can you show 1 out of 4 equal parts?
So, I like to draw force by dividing it in half and then putting the half in half.
Same thing that I like to do.
One part. This is one part of it, and then this is where the 1/4 would be.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Thank you. I have this one. So, how could you share this with yourself and 4 other people? So 5 people in
You
all.
could split it into fifths.
Can you make only 1 mark to show me your part, your share?
Um,
Just only 1 mark. And how do you know that would be your share?
well, because kind of eyeballing it, I imagine like it being more parts. I imagine this line being multiplied 4 more times,
I like that.
and that it would be pretty equal.
Okay, so it's important for it to be equal. I like how you said that. I'm writing it down. Awesome. Thanks, Erin. I'm learning this, so I'm making sure I give you the right things. I want you to shade in 2 parts.
Okay. 1, 2.
What fraction of the whole strip is shaded?
2/7.
Okay. And how do you know that?
Because there are 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. So I know that this would be 2/7.
Awesome. I'm going to give you these 2 now. I would like you to cut 2 parts from the unmarked strip.
Okay, can I use this strip to like measure?
Sure.
Okay. So the strips look equal. Well, if I get them to line up.
And then just use your scissors. I don't want you to mark on it. See if you can just use the scissors. Nice. So,
It's about equal.
what is this part of the fraction called?
What do you mean?
What is this part of your whole?
I'm not sure what you're asking. What is this part of here?
So, this part is what fraction of the whole?
2/7.
And this part is what fraction of the whole?
5/7.
Okay. That's a better way to ask it. Second one. Awesome. You're doing great. Do you like fractions? I think they're fun. And a little bit of a dork that way. you to use the scissors to cut off what you think would be 1/5 of a rectangle. And just make one cut.
Okay, do I do it on both?
Just on one. How could you check to see if that is 1/5?
You could go like this and then see if it fits 4 more times.
Okay.
Go in. And then like move it. My cutting wasn't very straight, so.
Yeah, that's all right.
And then get
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Great. All right.
Why did I need a second one?
That's a good question. What do you think? What could have been the? Oh, there's more than one set of these. I didn't
To
know
see
this.
so that like I could have measured it on there, so you could use 5 instead of.
Right. I need to give you one of every color. I didn't know there were more than one of every color. In no particular order. Brown and black. All right.
You didn't give me dark green.
Thank you. Thanks for being my helper. All right, so if this is the 1/3 of the hole, can you find the hole? This light green is 1/3 of the hole.
So I know it has to be bigger than this.
How do you know? Can you talk me through what you were just doing?
Because I measured on here, and then I marked, and then
How many of those fit in there?
2.
2.
And so I know, so now I'm going to try this one, because it's a little bit bigger. But this doesn't fit in here, this one, so this one's bigger than the black. It still doesn't fit. And then I'm trying this one. I would say it was the blue.
Okay. And why do you say it's blue?
Because I already know it won't fit on here or on this one. And I know it doesn't fit on these 2.
But when you were checking, what did you make sure happened when you picked the blue?
I made sure that I did it equally,
Okay.
and I made sure that it went in 3 times, and I also made sure that this was smaller than this, because if it was bigger I would have tried this one.
Okay, awesome. So now here's the white strip. If this strip is 1/7 of the hole, which strip is the hole?
It almost made it, but it was like right here. So I'm gonna try on this one, and then I'll go back to this one if it's
Okay.
too much, and try measuring it again. 5, 6, 7. So I think it fits in this one the best.
All right. And I like how you were doing that. Do you know what that's called when you measure like that and you make sure you leave no spaces?
No.
It's called iterating. Iterate. Okay. Very cool.
I think it sort of fit on here too, but half of it was.
Some of it was off of there. If this strip is 1/4, of the hole? Can you find the strip that's 3/4?
That's 3/4?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that technically be 3/3 because this is, if you used it on the strip that was 4, that was that was 3/4 then, and it made the hole, then wouldn't it be 3/3?
So I didn't say anything about the hole. I just want you to show me which strip is 3/4 of the hole. If this is 1/4 of the hole, then which strip is 3/4 of the hole? But that's a good question, right? So can you tell me which one would be the hole? What two would you put together, Michael? You got this.
This one.
Oh.
This.
Yeah, the brown.
But I figured out it was this one because I went like this, and I measured here, and because I knew this was 1/2 of this one.
Oh, so
and
use
this
that to
was
help you.
And this was kind of close to 1/2 of this, so I knew that this would be.
Okay. All right, very cool. We are getting close. You're doing awesome. You have some really good thinking about fractions. All right, so next I need to these. Thank you.
And
yeah, thanks. All right, so you have a whole bunch of those, and one of these strips. So one of these strips. This is my strip, and my strip is 4 times the size of your strip. Can you show your strip?
Can I mark?
You can mark. You
Can
can
I mark
cut.
on this one?
On any one of them. One of them is my strip. My strip is 4 times the size of your strip.
Okay, so I would cut.
And you can mark and then cut, or you can do whatever you want.
I would move. Oh, that is not 1/2. That is not even close to 1/2.
How did you know it wasn't 1/2?
Because this side was way smaller than this side.
Okay. Sometimes it's hard to eyeball it. Is there a way that you could do it to make sure it's 1/2?
I could measure it.
You could measure it.
I could go like this. So I could keep my finger where it was in my pencil.
Check and see if you're about the same.
And then I would split that in half again. So it was in 4ths. And then I would cut along the 4ths line, and this would be my strip.
Okay, that would be your strip. Great.
Because 4th and so I needed 1/4.
Okay, awesome. That's great. This strip is 3/7 of the hole.
Is this the hole?
You get to draw the hole on this paper.
Okay, so 3/7?
That's 3/7 of the hole.
Okay. So 1, 2. Wait, no, 3, 6, and then. So I'd say 1/7 of this would be about right there. So then.
You can use any tools if you want to
Oh.
make it to help you.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and then I go here. know the 7th is bigger than that.
Oh, okay.
So I'd say, so 1, 2, 3. Well, I know my 3 7s have to fit equally
That's a good way to do it.
in here. So I know 3 of them, so it has to go.
How many did you try when you tried it? How many fit in your 3 7s?
A lot more than should. I just got up to 6 because that's how much I
Right.
think would be right there.
Right.
So then, thirds,
How many would have to be in here? Did you just tell me? I know you said it.
3.
3.
So thirds are hard to draw
And why are you drawing thirds?
because this in here 3 7s, so I know that the 1/3 of here will be how big the 7th is.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because there's 3 7s.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I need to add 1 more. And I would say it would be about right there. And then
You don't have to cut it out if you just want to finish drawing the whole thing. That'd be good. Okay, so this is 3 7s of my hole, and you're drawing the hole?
yeah, well, this doesn't really fit. I made it skinnier,
You did. So is it really, how wide would it be
so it would be
if you were making it?
this. What I had to say.
You figured out its length, right? But not. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to erase that, honey. I know that you know what you're doing. You want to.
Yeah, I want to. And then
Awesome. Thank you.
welcome.
That's really cool. We're almost finished. Now this one is just a verbal task, so I'm going to tell you a story, and I want you to answer the question.
Okay.
You might use the other side of this. So, Stephanie drank some soda. 24 ounces is 8 times the amount of soda that Stephanie drank.
Okay.
How much soda did Stephanie drink?
So I would do 24 divided by 8 to start,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that if you did, because 24 ounces is 8 times
Mm.
the amount that she drank.
Mm-hmm.
So I know if I do 24 ounces divided by 8, that equals what?
The amount that she drank.
Yeah,
You know.
and I know that 8 times 3 is 24.
Okay, awesome.
So
Good job, Erin.
she drank 3.
Okay. Could you draw a picture to show how that makes sense?
So
Kind of a picture like you can.
so if I'm just gonna do tallies.
What would be the whole? What would
Oh,
be the whole if
the
you were thinking
whole?
about?
So the whole would be 24.
And what would her part be? What
Mm.
fraction of the whole would her part be?
1/8.
Okay.
So
How do you make
this
ace?
is a way to split it into 8.
Oh, I love that you thought of that.
So I would do half,
Mm-hmm.
half, and then
Yeah, when you have other ones in there, sometimes it's hard. You're doing a great job. So you kind of made, I saw you make half, and then what was your second thing that you made?
I made fourths, and then I cut the fourths in half, and I made eighths.
Okay. So which part would be what she drank?
So hers would be, well, first I would say, so if the whole is 24,
Mm-hmm.
I would go, and then she has 8 parts, so one part would be 3 to equal 24.
Cool.
So I would say equals 24, and then I'd say the green equals 3.
Awesome. I love that drawing. Very cool. Thank you for doing that. All right, we are almost done. Is this fun? I think it's fun. Here's a sheet for you. All right. So this is an energy bar right here. The company that makes this energy bar wants to make a new bar that is 7/5 the size of this bar.
So,
And I want you to draw the new bar.
okay, well, can I draw on this
You
bar?
can, yep.
Okay, so first I would try to split this bar into this. And
Okay. And why 5th?
because you want to make a new energy bar that is 7/5,
Mm-hmm.
so doing this, I already know how big my size 1/5 will be.
Okay.
So I will go 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5, and then I'd say that
It doesn't have to be perfect.
this, so right here on my pencil,
And what are you doing right now?
and measuring to see, like, so I'm drawing the new energy bar,
Okay.
7/5. And then,
How many fifths are you making right now?
7.
Okay. It's okay. I mean, I can see what you did. I'm not worried about it being precise. I mean, perfect.
So I would say that this is the same as the regular energy bar, and then this is what you added on.
Okay. I'm going to take a, what is that part called?
That's 1/5.
Okay. I love that. Awesome. Thank you. I wrote your name on there already. All right, Erin, here's another one. Now this is a company, same company, and this is an energy bar. This time they want to make another new bar. And this bar is 9/7 the size of the new bar. That's hard to say. This bar is 9/7 the size of the new bar.
What do you mean? It's 9/7 the size. So they want to make this.
So you might want me to draw the new bar. This one is 9/7 the size of the new bar.
I don't get what you mean by 9/7 the size of the new bar.
So tell me ask me a question that will help you understand.
So, like, is the new bar like less or more of it? Because you said it's 9/7 of the size.
So what do you think? Would the new bar be bigger or smaller? This one is 9/7 the size of the big new bar.
So this would be 1 whole and 3/7. So this is 7/9 of the new bar.
It is 9/7.
Okay, so this is 9/7 of the new bar. So then would the new bar be bigger? Because you would need to know how big you want your new bar to be if you're saying this is 9/7.
So I want the new bar to be the whole.
But how much is your whole? Because you have to know that to be able to draw it.
Right. So if that one's 9/7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's 10/7.
How did you know that was 10/7?
Because I made 9 lines.
9 partitions, and then what?
And that would mean that there were 10 parts.
Oh, interesting. I'm glad you know that.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
I need to put this.
It doesn't have to be perfect. I get the idea. I know by this point, I know you know they need to
Yeah.
be equal.
So 9/7.
That bar's 9/7. What would the that's 9/7 of the other bar.
So this is 9/7 of the new bar, but wouldn't you need to know how many the new bar is? Because if this is 9/7, would you want, like, do you want it to be 10/7 or 11/7?
You want it to be one whole.
Okay, so this is 9/7, then you would want so just one whole?
You want it to be the whole.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is that your new bar?
Yeah, so I would say, because you wanted it to be one whole, and this is 7/7.
Way to troubleshoot that. Awesome thinking. All right, we only have a couple left. You're doing great. I loved how you made sense of that. So here's a bar. It's not a real bar, and it's not a granola bar or an energy bar. I want you to imagine that I had a red strip of paper. The white paper strip is half of my red strip. Okay? I want you to fold the white strip to show 1/6 of the red strip.
Okay, so this is half
Of my red strip.
So if this is half of it, and then so this isn't your whole, so you would need you would need to do so I would fold it into like this. Oh, that's not. I need to redo my fold.
I can give you a new one if you want a new one.
Yeah.
I love the idea that you're folding. You haven't been folding yet. That's always something you could do to find halves or fourths or, right?
Mhm.
What are you making right now?
I'm making thirds, but really it would be a sixth of the red one because this is only half, so thirds would actually be a third of this strip would be a sixth of the red strip.
I love that.
So,
And can you show 1/6 of the red strip?
this is your 1/6.
Excellent. 2 problems left.
Okay.
The first one is a story. Jack and Carrie's school club is doing highway cleanup. Jack and Carrie are responsible for picking up trash along 3/4 of a mile of the highway. If they split the distance equally, how much of a mile will each have to clean? Use that paper.
And then I'm splitting it into fourths, and then I'm just saying that they don't have to clean that.
Love that. Okay.
So
Because why?
because they only split 3/4.
Okay.
So if they want to split it equally, then I would cut this piece in half because that's so. I would say they each get 1/4 plus 1/8.
Do you know what that fraction would be called?
No.
No? Is there a way you could figure it out?
So, don't you have to find like a common denominator?
What does that mean when you say that you're finding a common denominator?
So, this is the denominator. So you would find something that they can both equal.
And what
to. They could both equal.
So what size of what? I agree with you. Do you want them to be equal? How do you want them to be equal?
I want the denominators that if you did 4 times something and you do 8 times something, then they get the same.
And what are you trying to make the same about them? And I'm thinking about not the number, I'm thinking about the fraction.
You're trying to make the denominator
I am trying to make that number the same, but what does that mean in relation to the whole? And I'm challenging you.
What do you mean you're trying to make it?
Are you trying to make, when I think of a fraction as a whole partitioned into equal parts, what are you trying to make the same?
The parts. We're trying to make them equal.
The same size,
and
right?
You could split these so they could each take 1, 2, 3 eighths. And then, so 1, 2, 3.
would be one person's.
Persons.
And what would be the other person's?
But the other persons would just be 1, 2. Oh.
It's okay. No, you can just, does it matter?
Oh, no, it doesn't matter if it's
Right?
in the same place.
Is it
So
the same part?
the other persons would be 3/8.
That's awesome. And you did it without thinking about, like, you were
Yeah, because I just looked at it and I realized you could split the 4th into
2/8.
2.
That's awesome. Okay, thank you, Erin. And one last thing. Read that card to me.
5/8 plus 1/2.
Do you have a way to figure that out?
So this time since I don't have the block to look at, so you would have to find a common denominator of 8 and 2.
Think about this, the size of the piece again, because the size of the part, like you did here.
Oh, actually, you wouldn't. So this would be, so 1/2. Well, are these the same whole?
It is going to be the same
Okay,
way up.
so it's going to be split into 8ths. This one's going to.
Okay.
Okay, so then it would be, so 4/8 plus 5/8 because, so.
Where did you find 4/8? Tell me about that.
Because 1/2 of 8/8 is 4/8, so 1/2 of the whole would be 4/8. So 5/8 plus 4/8 would be 9/8, or 1 and 1/8.
Tell me about that.
So it would be 1 and 1/8 because 5/8 plus 3/8 is 1 whole, and then you have 1/8 left over.
How do you know that's 1 whole?
Because 8/8 equals 1 whole. And if I didn't, I could multiply 1/2. And because I knew that was 4/8, I could multiply 1/2 by 2, and that would be 8/8.
If you didn't know. You're a rock star. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Welcome.
I'm going to stop this.